Hi. So I had a WTF encounter recently. I went to use the restroom and some guy ran up behind me and was hot on my heels following me in there. I didn't think much of it at first, but I figured he really had to go. But once in the restroom, I step up to the urinal and zip and haul out the monster, prepare to take a leak. Suddenly I realize I'm not alone. The guy who followed me in wasn't at one of the other urinals. He wasn't in the stall. He was standing there watching me. That's right, he was standing there watching me. Let me repeat that. He was standing there watching me pee. Now I realize some of you are thinking, ew, and imagining some nasty, fugly thing standing there, but this was a relatively attractive young guy. Now, I'd seen this guy before. He works in an area close to the restroom. I first noticed him when they changed the area over and put something new in there, and I'm kind of curious, so I look over there to see what was going on as I'd walk by. And some of the people in the area always seem to be busy, and others, like this guy, seem to have time to stand around and do nothing. Sometimes I'd see him and he'd be banging away at some dents and something, and I'd think, oh goodness, that would be annoying as hell to have to do that all day long. And other times I'd see him standing around just talking away, and I wish that I had a job where I could talk on the clock. And aside from that, I've worked with a couple of guys in that area, so I always looked for him to talk to him as I go by and whatnot. However, I have to admit that I had noticed him for another reason. I was taking a digital photography class and I needed a model to sit for me. And my friends, being as supportive as they possibly could be, gave me this resounding no way. So I tried to figure out who I might find to sit for me and whatnot. And then I noticed, looking at people around me, I noticed this guy, and he's got reasonably nice facial features that could be well manipulated with the camera and lighting and whatnot. And aside from him, I also considered a woman I'd worked with and her boyfriend. I'd worked with him as well. She's got a really nice crooked smile and she's really pretty, and he's got this big toothy smile that's really, really great. But since I really don't know any of them, I worked with them, but I don't know them. I couldn't ask them. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm kind of on the shy side. And I definitely couldn't ask this guy because I'd only said hi to him one time. I didn't know him at all. But now I'm rambling, so back to the story. Upon realizing that he was just standing there watching me pee, 1,001 thoughts went through my mind. Okay, so what's he doing? Should I say hi? Should I introduce myself? Hi, I'm Bob, and this is Peter, or my Peter. Is he enjoying the view? Does he want pictures? Is he willing to pay for pictures? How much is he willing to pay for pictures? Just what on earth is this guy doing? I'd never had anything like this happen to me before. It was really, really strange. And I'm not really the confrontational type, so instead of asking him what was going on, I just kind of stood there peeing and with all these weird thoughts going on in my mind. It's like, should I offer to let him shake it for me when I finish? Should I ask if he's thirsty? Did he bring a glass? Does he want to drink straight from the fountain? What's the proper protocol in a situation like this? Should I turn around and pee on his leg? If I pee on his leg, what happens if he likes it? Granted, it wouldn't be the first time I ever peed on a pretty face, or ugly one for that, or... yeah, right now some of you are going, ooh, and the rest of you are like totally turned on. Well, get over yourselves. When you're in a situation like this, weird thoughts go through your mind. Besides, I've never actually peed on anybody or even considered it. Or have I? I have to admit, though, that I've come to the conclusion that everybody reaps the golden rewards of life in one way or another. In life, you're either receiving showers of gold or you're receiving golden showers. You think about it. Either you're getting something nice out of life or somebody's peeing all over some part of your life. There are even sayings about it. Who peed on your Cheerios and Who peed on your parade? However, we stood there in silence, him watching me pee and me wondering why on earth is this guy watching me pee. To be honest, I kind of think he's one of those guys that squats when he pees, so I think he was kind of using me as an instructional video to learn how to do it standing up. All I know is that when I finished and reeled the hose in and put it away, he turned and left. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of pee shy, so despite all the weird thoughts that went through my mind, it was a bit of an unsettling encounter. And that fapping noise coming from me, and that was a bit distracting. Now when I go to use the restroom, I look to see where he's at and check over my shoulder just to make sure nobody's standing there watching. And even though this is a weird situation, I guess that on the bright side, it's kind of, sort of, somewhat, almost, maybe just a little bit nice that somebody was so interested in the goods they followed me in the restroom to watch me pee. And, you know, I can even handle the blowing in the ear part because that kind of tickled a bit. But did he really have to hump my leg? And it bothers me that without so much as a thank you, he leaves me standing there with my shoulder drenched in drool and a freshly starched pants leg. I mean, damn, I used nearly a whole roll of paper towels to clean the starch off my leg. And after it dried, my pants leg got all stiff and the denim scratched and chafed my leg. But all kidding aside, I walked in the restroom one day and a couple of guys from that area were talking. I heard one of them saying that Sheldon had just been in there watching somebody pee. And I thought, damn, he's cheating on me. Now, actually, I thought, damn, he must really like to watch guys pee. I mean, I don't understand that. But has anything like this ever happened to any of you? Have you ever had somebody follow you into the restroom and stand there watching you pee? I mean, what did you do? How did you handle it? And by the way, this guy's name really isn't Sheldon. I don't see any reason to reveal his real name, and since I like the Big Bang Theory, I decided to call him Sheldon. However, no matter what his name really is, I'll always kind of think of him as the Peepee King.